Hey there, Julia here. Today I am prepping for the Colorado Pen Show, which is October 11th through the 13th. This will be my second time going. It is a smaller show right outside of Denver. It's a very intimate setting, quite different from Stationery Fest, which I attended back in August. So I'm actually going to set up my show insert in the same insert as Stationery Fest just because I didn't quite fill it up. I'm also going to Chicago Planner Conference in November, actually teaching a workshop there. And so I think I have enough pages for that as well, since I don't see myself using a lot of pages for the Colorado Pen Show. I've already set up some decorations, some page headers for these pages, and it has a very vintage autumn vibe, and the washi tapes I used were gifted by the washi tape shop. I'll show you them really quickly. This one is a new one, like cats and books, and so it has lots of fountain pen adjacent things. There's some dip pens, some inks, some cats, some wax seals, bottles of ink. So I thought this one was perfect for setting up this insert, and the rotation, the loop on it is super long, so you get lots of different journal, books, cat adjacent things here. And yeah, it's just now starting over, so super cool loop there that you'll be seeing throughout. And I definitely want to mention that these are washi stickers, so they're already pre-cut, kiss cut, so you just lift and stick. And those are my favorite types of washis right now because the time it takes to cut around some of these things, like on PET tapes, not for me. I also used this set. Yeah, you can see this. You have some writing already, some autumn leaves, some food, cozy socks, hugs. Let's see if we can get to that. There's one in here that's pretty hilarious. There it is. This is the star of the washi tape. It's a fart washi tape, or washi sticker. I don't know how this fits in with the theme, but I'm gonna try to use this as much as possible. And then you saw on this cover spread here, I think this set is called Seasons Passing, and these are just like really large scenes of like winter and fall neighborhood scrolling. Look at that one, so pretty. The illustrations are so nice. Little market day, bakery, super cute. So I just used this sort of walking by a shop with the autumn leaves because I just thought that kind of fit the vibe for a mid-October trip. But thank you to Washi Tape Shop for gifting me quite a few washi tape rolls, and I was able to use these 3 in this insert and love the way it turned out. I do have a code with Washi Tape Shop if you want to check them out, and of course I'll leave everything linked for you down below. So let's get into filling this thing out. All right, let's get a clip on there. So this is the first spread that I have going on. I will be filling everything out with this Estabrook Esty in Incredible Rock. It's inked with Robert Oster Fire and Ice. So let's talk wish list. My wish list is pretty slim just because I got a lot at Stationery Fest and post Stationery Fest. We're going to Japan later next year, and so I will be saving up for that. Don't want to go too ham, but there are a couple of things that I will have my eye out for. The first being a platinum 3776. In particular, I mentioned it in my last show prep video, the calico colorway. And there's like a transparent purple, like lilac that I really like. So I'm going to have my eye out for those. I doubt that I'll see any crazy like exclusives there. I don't think I'll be seeing the chai tea one there, but I do know a couple of vendors carry Platinums, and Luxury Brands of America will be there, and Platinum is a part of their brand lineup. So I'm just going to have my eye out for that. I'm also going to be hunting down an A5 cover for my ink journal. So I could easily find something online for this, but since I'm going to be at a show where there's going to be, you know, Drum Ghouls is going to be there. Penroom sometimes has some accessories. I just want to keep my eye out for an A5 cover at the show. And if I don't find one there to my liking, then I'll just order one online. But it's always super special to like get your eye on something, get your hands on something, to be sure it's a mindful purchase. And the last thing on my wish list is a Parker dual fold. So I used one of these at Stationery Fest during the Vintage Pen meetup, and in my notes for the meetup, after trying so many different vintage pens, I wrote on this one like, love this nib, need to find one. I was very excited about it. In particular, there is a white marble material / colorway that I really enjoy the look of here. And I know that Penroom has one on their website, so maybe he'll have it there. And then, funny enough, my local pen dealer, Joel, has one on his site as well. It's a little more expensive. It's a Centennial version, and I'm not sure of the differences. So I definitely want to check Penroom out. And there's some other vintage vendors there as well. Nicola Pang is going to be there. And so I'll just check these folks out and see if I can find the pen and find it at the best price. And I feel like I'm going to bite myself in the butt by writing this down, but Minimal Inks Julia. Between Stationery Fest and Ferris Wheel Press Jubileeing, and I recently got some inks from the Wet Pen. I'm just drowning in inks right now. I do not need inks. Moving on to things to try. So I wasn't able to try a Scribo at Stationery Fest, so I still want to give the Scribo a try, in particular the Extra Fine Flex. And there's still only like 1 or 2 Scribo bodies, like the colorways that I like, so I definitely don't think I'm going to be walking away with a Scribo anytime soon, especially not from the Colorado Pen Show. Please don't eat my words later. But I'm very curious about it. I want to try it. And then with Pilot, I want to try the Signature Nib. And I tried the Falcon Nib briefly last year at the show, but I want to try it again and actually write down my thoughts about it. My things to bring list should be pretty short this time around as well. Also want to bring my social cards, some stickers to give away to pen friends. Of course, got to bring some inked pens. There isn't as much like after hours shenanigans at this smaller show, but I really loved last year how everyone was just like sitting at tables and just pulling out pens and having people try pens. swatching inks. It was just so much fun, but I was such a noob last year that I did bring a lot of pens, but none of them were inked. So it's just like, hey, look at this cool pen, look at it. So I will be bringing my pens inked this year. And then nibs to be grinded. Oh yeah, pens with my grinds so I can have people try those out. And I think that's it for things to bring. Okay, this next spread is dedicated to workshops and notes, and then the nib work that I want to get done at the Colorado Pen Show. So for workshops, I'm only signed up for one, and this one is on Saturday. And it is an early one with John Bosley of Fountain Pen Love. And his workshop is fountain pen doodles. So this workshop will be just exploring different ways to sketch, draw, doodle with fountain pens and fountain pen inks. It looks like we are going to be doing some Zentangles as well. John's business, Fountain Pen Love, is mostly centered around fountain pen friendly paper samples. And so I'm sure that we're going to be talking a little bit about fountain pen friendly paper as well. But I'm just super excited to have some ideas when it comes to using my fountain pens and inks in new ways. For nib work, last year, I think Kirk was the only nibmeister that was at the show. It's his hometown show. He is from Colorado. But this year we have two. So Kirk's going to be there, of course, and Matthew Chen. So I'm very excited about that. I don't think Matthew Chen does any like pre-sign-ups for nib appointments. So that's going to be a walk-in, cross your fingers situation. Though with this smaller show, that's another pro. You're not clamoring over people to get nib appointments. So I feel pretty confident that not only am I gonna, get my scheduled appointment with Kirk, I want to get an additional appointment with Kirk and an appointment with Matthew. So that is the plan. Let's write down this first appointment. It is Friday. I'm going to shoot for an additional with Kirk and a walk-in with Matthew. Okay, and the plan with Kirk is to do an imperial nib on my wedding pen, which is a Bach nib. I said in that video that it was a Yovo nib, and Luke sent me a message and told me that his pens are Bach nibs. And so I want to get an imperial on that still, but I also want to get an imperial on a Yovo nib so that I'm able to swap those around to different pens. I'd also love to get a Tonto grind on a Yovo nib. This Tonto grind, I think, is a lot like the Naginata Togi / Sansakusen grind, and I have been loving that grind this month, and so I definitely want it on a Yovo nib as well. Right now it's on a Diplomat Excellence, and I don't think that that just like easily comes out because I don't think it's exactly a Yovo nib and housing. So yeah, anyways, I wanted to get something similar on a Yovo nib, and then I would love to get a spear point on a Yovo, which is an extra fine or fine on one side and you flip it over and it's like a medium broad. So super versatile, would be great for traveling with minimal pins. And so I definitely want to add that to my collection. And then with Matthew, I have just a couple of adjustments. My Pelican M600 in the trans white, I recently got an Oxford grind on it, and I do want to get just a size reduction there. I love the grind, but it's still just a little bit thick, and I want to be able to use that pen for more daily writing. So I want to get that adjusted. And then I have a VP, Vanishing Point nib unit that I want to turn into a cursive smooth italic. Right now it's a fine, and so I know that it's going, no, right now it's a medium. And so I know it's going to be a little thin, a little subtle, but that's exactly what I'm looking for that grind. So that is what I have here. And then for the bottom part of this page, I'm just going to leave this open for some nib testing and just checking out the different grinds that they have on tester pens and just write my thoughts here, or just do some writing samples with what I end up getting worked on here. So yeah, I'm definitely spending a lot of energy per usual on nib work. With this spread, I'm leaving it wide open as well for just some different pen testing, different nibs that I want to test out. If I do get to try that Scribo and that Falcon nib, I'll do a writing sample here with my thoughts, with the little pen meetup, trying different people's pens. I'll put that here. Last year, I think it's in this notebook. Okay, here we go. Here are the inks and pens that I tried at the Colorado Pen Show last year. And so you can see, like, I don't have all the pens listed. I don't have all of the nibs or inks listed. And I definitely don't have any of my thoughts about any of these. So this page isn't very helpful at all. Just I can say, hey, I tried the music nib, I tried the Techo nib, but I don't remember my thoughts. I do remember that my thoughts on the Techo nib was that it was weird, but other than that, this isn't very helpful. So I want to definitely remember to write some of those thoughts and details as I'm trying different pens, inks, nibs, etc. on this page. Then flipping over here, this is just a space to paste in any show ephemera, so stickers or the little name tag, anything like that from the show as sort of a memory keeping spread. And then finally, just a place to write down some show thoughts, maybe do some photos here, some journaling to wrap it all up. And there are some extra pages, plenty of pages back here for any runoff or any additional journaling or things like that. So I still have plenty of pages as well for the Chicago Planner Conference. So I just think this whole insert is just going to be like my year of stationery and pen events. So this is going to be really fun to look back on. But yeah, I really love smaller events like this just because I don't feel rushed to get to a certain table, to buy a certain thing. It gives me a little bit more space to breathe, go and have some lunch, go have a drink, think about the things that caught my eye, and then go back and get them or not get them after some thought. I also like that at this show, there's plenty of time to have conversations with the vendors, with the people there, and not feel so crowded. So that's going to be really nice. And then also just having that flexibility for more nib grinds and more of just like a relaxed experience. So let me know in the comments what you think of smaller events, if you've gone to any smaller pin shows or stationery meetups. Definitely like this video if you've enjoyed, and subscribe to the channel if you love talking about pens, inks, journaling, and planning. And I'm going to leave you with the just the complete opposite of the small Colorado Pen Show. I'm going to leave you with my prep insert for Stationery Fest right here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.